Hello, hello, my G's. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you can all hear me. And hear the music as well. Let me know in the chat if everything is working fine. Audio, visual, microphone, music, all good. Let me know and we'll get started. It's Friday, the 3rd of November. It's been a little while since we've done a feedback stream. Tried to do one every month. Blips in the house. Sounds good to him. So, cool. Let's get started. So, excuse me. Today we've got a Patreon feedback stream. 8 tracks from 8 different artists. Some of them tracks not finished, obviously. Some of them may be finished. It's not really about whether they're finished or not. It's just showcasing a bit of work and having some nice little community group activity, giving some feedback and all that kind of good stuff. So let's start straight away then with... they're in no particular order. We've got 9 wrenches in from New York. And this is his submission today, which is called Rock and Roll. Here we go. Wow, that was really, really special. I really, really enjoyed that. Yeah, Nine Wrenches is absolute legend from New York, a car mechanic by day, drum and bass ninja by night, and yeah, we've had a few lessons, and I could say from when we last had a lesson, I noticed a big improvement here in the mixdown. Mixdown sounds really cool. Nine Wrenches, if you're watching, bro, probably at work, busy fixing cars, but I love that. I love the vibe on that. Would love to know how you did the riffs, if they're like self-recorded or if they're samples, but they sound wicked, man. I haven't really got anything bad to say about it. I really, really enjoyed it. Perhaps just with the structure, like some parts felt like they went on for a bit long, like with the kind of breakdowny drum part, but all sounded good though, and especially the main kind of drop. Like the guitars just sound really, really awesome. So because it's a like a real jump up, like jump up in quality from what I've last heard from you, I just want to praise you for that one because that's really, really cool. So yeah, really, really like that. Let's crack on then. Next with I don't know if some of the other guys haven't joined on yet, but I know that Digi and Ian are both here now. So why don't I move those guys up and we'll carry on next with Digipac's Green Desert or Dessert. Love that, Digi. Really love that. It's a new style I'm hearing from you, and I'm really enjoying it. It shows a bit more, almost a bit more care, a bit more restraint as well in your composition, which is a new side to you that I haven't heard before. I really, really like that. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Digi dropped a track, one of the first tracks on my label this year, Leaving Earth, which was a neuro-funky banger, and I really want to get a second one out from him on the label, the start of next year at the latest. And I think this could be the one. I've got to check what else he's got in his weapons crate before, unless he's already signed this with someone else, of course. But we've got to check what else is in Digipax's weapons crate at the moment before we make a release. But we definitely got to do another one, and I would probably say this would be up there for me. I really, really enjoy that because it shows a different style to your production. I love the intro and the breakdown, that sweeping kind of chord. Middle Eastern flavored, whatever they are, strings, pad, something. You know the thing I mean. It sounds awesome. I love it. Yeah, really, really nice blend between modern drum and bass drums and but showing a bit more of a melodic and chilled out style to your production, which I haven't heard before. So really, really nice. Love that. Would happily listen to that again right now. Really good sense of emotion in the song. Love it. All right. Then, and big ups PA Cosmos and Blips as well for tuning into the stream. We're going to carry on straight away then with Ian Trieg, Eraserhead. I believe this is perhaps a new work in progress, or is it an old track that you've dug up from the vault? Either way, we're carrying on with Ian, Eraserhead. Looking forward to this. Wow, Ian. Wow, wow, wow. You've definitely I want to phrase it right. You've not only have you stepped into the big boy territory, you've climbed through the next door on the spaceship to get closer to the command center. You've got through the next wall, I think. Here I can really notice, I mean, from maybe it was good that you took that time to do the jungly Amen track for a while and come away from the heavier style, because now you've come back at the heavier style. It's much more refined than your last attempts at making that style. I really like that. There are definitely some creases in the shirt to iron out. There's a couple of, but there's not that many. But there's a couple of things just to smooth out, like parts where like some of the basses or certain things sort of spike up in the high end like a bit much. But in general, the whole improvement of your bass design and bass arrangement has massively leveled up, and mixed down as well. Really all round. All round leveling up on all cylinders. Yeah, awesome. I love that. That's really nice to hear. Really nice to hear you developing in that sense. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Good. The 3 tracks we've had so far, I'm noticing big improvements on all. I don't have too many bad things to say today. Very impressed with all 3 so far. Really enjoyed all of those songs. So let's go into our next victim, and the next victim is Andy D, who's in the Discord as well, but a fairly new member, and this song is called Distorted. So let's see how distorted it really is. And I can see, just before I start with this one, I can see the waveform is not very loud. It's not been bounced out at full volume. So I'm just going to turn it up and get it a bit closer to the rest of them, So we'll start again. Like a bombshell. Like a bombshell. Like a bombshell. Like a bombshell. Distorted sound. Like a bombshell. 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 Distorted sound. Distorted sound. I was wondering what you meant there, Digipacks, when you said those chips rock. I was like, what, chips? What are you talking about? You meant to say chops. I get you. Wow, he's a talented boy, isn't he? He's a talented boy. Old Andy C, Andy D over here. Yeah, very, very talented. I would have a field day with that project if I had the stems. If it was me, I would I'd chop a load of things out that I think over I don't want to say overcomplicate it, but I want to say overcomplicate it. I would take out a few sounds here and there to just, really enhance the groove, and everything is there. I feel like there's just a couple of sounds that they just don't necessarily need to be there, and I think less would be more in a couple of places. But that's my only criticism, because the rest of it is like, in general, is absolutely crazy in a good way. Like really, really cool, funky vibe, really nice sound design. Just overall very impactful. I really, really like it. That's my only real feedback for that is it's difficult for me to say that because it's kind of the style that you've gone for, like a very complex style. But I think like a couple of things taken out would even further, refine it a little bit more, But wow. And I think we can get a cooler name than Distorted as well. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, any specific feedback, mixdown feedback I could give? The mixdown is very well balanced. It sounds quite professional to me, Even though there's like a lot going on, you've still managed to get the kicks and snares to cut through, and overall the whole balance is really, really nice. So it's just quite a pleasure. It's a pleasurable mixdown, to be honest. So yeah, very, very talented. Honestly, I would struggle to make something as complex as that in a. I bet that takes a long time to make, doesn't it? Oh, here we are. Here he is, Mr. 365 days, 365 tracks a year. Mr. Riot, how are you, sir? Anyway, Andy D. Really blown away by that again. I think it's an improvement from the last track that you sent, though. I think I had similar things to say last time, but I feel like this one was better, definitely better. I think all of the songs so far have been a step up in improvement. But if that track were mine, I would definitely strip some things away. There's so much going on. There's so many cool things, but I think you'd actually get an even better track if you took some of those things off. Used a bit more, made a bit more use of minimalism in certain areas. Because even with that really fierce, fast, aggressive vibe with a lot going on, you'd still have that even if you made it more minimal, and it wouldn't take anything away from the beauty of it, So that would be my only little critique today. Anywho, let's continue with our fifth contestant today, calling in from Spain. We have Caliban. I think this is the only female producer in this selection of tracks today. We have had quite a few talented female producers on the Discord. But I think some of them have left at some point. I can't quite know for sure. But Caliban has got a wicked sound, very dark, industrial, my kind of flavour. So let's get straight into this. Earthquake. Yummy! That was tasty. I like that. It's very club, dirty drum and bass club music. I imagine it going off very well in those dingier, darker D&B dungeons. It's that kind of track for me. I really like it. I like the it's very it's quite aggressive, but it's quite relentless in its nature. The song, the composition, it's quite full on. I love the little vocal part that you kind of get in the background. That's really nice to give it a bit of a breather from all the aggressive synths and whatnot. I really like the drums. They sound like better quality drums than on your previous tracks that you've submitted. So I think the mix down is sounding a bit better than before. So you've done really well there. I do like that kind of, it's that first bass, that cool bass that sort of responds again as well, on the sort of downbeat always. That bass, like wah, wah, that one. I feel like that could be more developed in its sound still, and I also feel like it could come through a bit cleaner, because you've got that bass, and then you've got the sort of main, the main kind of bassy stab that runs the whole time underneath, and that I sort of feel like that slower kind of bass that comes in, like, you know, here and there, it sounds like a kind of breathing kind of sound, you know. I don't know, in my head it just felt like some sort of like breathing. But I think if you like, if you maybe sidechain the other one to that, so you can hear that sort of slower breathing part like a bit more clearer in the mix, and the other one came away, then I think the dynamic in the mix down would be like even more interesting. But I really like the whole concept, and the mix down is very clear. I just think that could be like a little twist to the mix down, which could make it even better. But it's not to say that it doesn't sound well balanced already, though. But yeah, cool. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's very full on. Definitely I can definitely imagine a lot of people stomping out to that in the club, 100%. The snare roll is working for blips. Yeah, I noticed that little snare roll as well. I think I noticed it. Yeah, it's familiar to me, but it definitely works, 100%. Great. Yeah, for me it's the as Subliminal says, he loves the atmosphere and the groove. Yeah. Also, for me, also the atmosphere on the whole thing is really nice. It's got very dark atmosphere, like from start to finish. It's cool. I like that. Let's continue then with I don't know if Rekeve is here or Xenopath. So I know Subfuse is here in the chat though. So let's go with Subfuse next. Is it Subliminal Fusion or Subfuse? What's the correct producer name that you'd like to be known by? Anyway, the track is called Disposition, and here we go. That was Subfuse with Disposition on BBC Radio Artifact. And now we'll take a short break for our sponsor. No, just kidding. I love that. It's got a really, really great concept. Really like that. The whole atmospheric lead on top of the bass melody on the whole drop was really, really cool. You got some good feedback. Melodic on the drop. Digipack says, I like how you slide into your drops. Very interesting atmospheric ambience from Ride. More creepy vibes in the second part. Reminds me of the Monsters theme, says Digipax. Yeah. All of your guys' mixdowns have been really, really good today. This is the first one where I feel like it's just been pushed a little bit too much still in the bass department. You almost had a little part at the end here where it was really clean, but a lot of the parts on the drop, there's a little bit of an overload of bass, at least from my end, causing a little bit of over distortion. But I can tell that the mixdown is going to be really loud and powerful because it's already it's already there, but it's a bit rumbly and distorted in certain parts in the low end, and that could be just cleared out a little bit. There's just a few things still conflicting a bit in the low end. In the low mid range, maybe the subs pushed a little bit too much. I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you exactly, but yeah, in the low mids and in the sub area, there's a little bit of conflict between some of the elements, or one or two of them are just pushed a bit much, and it's just causing a very, very slight overly rumbly bass distortion, but it's not too much. And I know that with a little bit of clever EQing or perhaps sidechaining, but probably EQing, that can be resolved, and you can still have the same impact that you've got, but just with a slightly cleaner and more defined low end, but that's the only thing I can really say. I love the composition. I really like the vibe. It tells a nice story. Yeah, cool stuff. Really enjoyed that. We must move on anyway, because we have 2 left from 8, and this has been very, very high quality stream so far, I would say. And next up, we got Rekiv with No Drop Yet. So perhaps this is just going to be an intro, and he's going to tease us with maybe just a little kick build and then reverb out. I don't know what's going to happen, but No Drop Yet from Rekiv. Let's have a little listen, shall we? Well, that's not really fair, is it, Rekiv, to do that? If you're watching, it's not really fair, is it? You give us this whole beautiful intro with loads of cool soundscaping effects, beautiful filtering and movements, and all this just glorious show-off sound design, and this lovely build-up, and then you tease us, don't you? leave us hanging, waiting for more. Well, I hope we can hear the full track soon. Or yeah, we got to find out what's going to happen on the drop. But it looks like a great build up. You've got a lot to match up for in the drop now. But yeah, great to send that in though, because yeah, even if it's not finished, I happily accept work in progresses. And yeah, I mean, I can't really give you much feedback for it because it is really cool. And yeah, without the context of the next part, yeah, it's not really too much for me to say other than wicked sounds, bro. So we'll move on then to Xenopath, our last one for today, who I've got a lesson with actually in about an hour or two. But Runaway, I don't think I've heard this one yet. At least I don't think so. So Xenopath from the USA. Let's go. Yes, my G, I like that a lot. There are a few things, as Digi pointed out, where the percussions or the hats go out of sync. It doesn't happen all the time, but there is a couple of moments when there's like a new percussion loop or hat loop that comes in, which is a little bit out of sync, and you get this like sort of galloping effect, like you're mixing two tracks not quite in well with each other. You get that kind of effect, that happens at 1 or 2 points throughout the composition. But if we ignore that, because that's easily fixed, yeah, I really like it. I do feel like it's a different sound than what I've heard from you before, which is cool. Yeah, I like the kind of melody, and some of the little vocals that come in later are really cool as well. I like those. The second drop I think was a bit better. Yeah, I think the second drop, like, it just had a little bit more going on, so it felt a little bit more filled out, you know, because on the first drop, with that like kind of lead, which is really got a nice melody and a hook to it, there's sort of like a bit sort of missing in the background still in that part. There was like not quite where it wasn't quite filled out yet. It felt like it just, I don't know, even like a bit more reverb on the lead or something would have helped, you know, but it felt like it just wasn't quite complete yet. The whole kind of selection of sounds wasn't quite like done yet, you know, but in the second drop it feels a bit more full, so I like that more, definitely. But got to clean up those little like out of time parts with the hats though. That's the number one priority. What do we say here then? I wish the vocals were not so clipped at the end of each phrase, but it's likely an intentional choice. Yeah, I think that was probably intentional. I think the vocal chops are quite nice. I like the minimalism. Could get a huge track. Yeah, it does have a really good concept. I think it might be one of my favorite sort of conceptual ideas for a track that you've come out with. I do, yeah, with certain improvements made to it, I do see it being like a really nice composition overall with the kind of way that you've set it up. So yeah, I do definitely, yeah. Although there's a few things that need to be fixed, the whole concept and the idea definitely works, and I do think that is a good new kind of style of concept that you've come up with that I haven't heard before. So I think that is worth celebrating. There we go. That was it today then. So we've had 8 tracks. Yeah, to be honest, I can definitely notice an improvement on all of them. However, I'm really impressed by our first 3 today from Nine Wrenches, Digipax and Ian. I'm really impressed because I felt like, yeah, I felt like there was a real like obvious like jump up in like the development of all 3 of your sounds that was like really yeah, like really obvious. so yeah, you 3 guys that have started off the stream super well, and I really like, I just love hearing when people improve, and it's like just so I want to say the word obvious again, but I already use that word. Just when it's so apparent that you're like, wow, you've definitely put in some extra work, haven't you? You know? So yeah, really sick to hear that. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream today and for submitting your tracks. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking to submit something because, you know, well, when I hear your tracks, I don't hear them and think like, oh, like that's exactly where they're at, or you know, that's how good they are now, because like I'll write sometimes new tracks that weren't as good as some of my older ones as well. So because every track's different, you know. So I don't judge like the overall, yeah, like skill of the producer just based on like the one track that they submitted, you know. But if I hear some things in these new tracks that I haven't heard you do before, then I want to celebrate that. And I think that you, most of you guys have definitely done something new that you can be proud of on this stream today. So yes, well done, my G's, all round high fives and handshakes and chocolate cakes all round, you know. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Yeah, have a lovely weekend, and make sure to let us know what you're up to in the Discord as well. Give each other some extra feedback in the Discord after this stream as well. That would be useful and be interesting to read what you guys say. But yeah, it was really, really a pleasure to hear all your music today. So thanks a lot, my dudes. Have a great rest of your Friday, and we'll do another feedback stream again in December. We'll try to go for one every month, you know. That's it from me today. New music from me coming out this time next week, next Friday. And then I'm off to the Netherlands later this month for a show. Yeah. And I'll see some of you guys on Zoom for lessons as well after this. So have a great evening, my dudes. Ciao, ciao, ciao.